Hi everyone! In this practical math video, let's learn how to solve a remainder concept problem sum with a really interesting problem solving method called the branching method. Are you ready? Now let's read the problem that we are going to solve. Wendy spent 4/7 of her money on a pair of shoes and 2/3 of the remainder on a pair of earrings. Given that she had $10 left, how much did Wendy have at first? After reading this word problem, do you know what this word problem is all about? We are talking about Wendy's money and how she spent it on some different things. Agree? So let's start with all of Wendy's money. And then we are going to read this problem one more time. As we are reading, we are going to write down what we know from each sentence, and you'll see why this method is called the branching method very soon. Now let's think about what Wendy did with all her money, okay? First, we are given that she spent 4/7 of her money on a pair of shoes. So what we are going to do is to split her money up into two parts. The first part is what we know, and that's the fraction that she spent on the shoes. And what about the second part? The second part is going to be what we can deduce from it. So just like a detective, we are going to think about what clues we have after reading each sentence. Since we know that Wendy spent a fraction of her money on the shoes, this means that she must have some money left after that, correct? But what fraction of the money was she left with? Well, let's work that out by subtracting 4/7 from one whole. 1 minus 4/7 equals to 3/7. Do you see how Wendy's money branches out into these two parts? And here's how we read what we have so far. 4/7 of Wendy's money was spent on the pair of shoes. And as a result of that, 3/7 of her money was left. So far so good? Next, we are going to read on and see what else we are given in the problem sum. After spending a part of her money on the pair of shoes, Wendy then spent 2/3 of the remainder on a pair of earrings. Seems like Wendy really loves shopping, right? Since we know that Wendy spent 2/3 of the remainder, we are going to split this remainder that we have over here into two parts as well. And what two parts are we splitting this into? Once again, the first part is going to be what we know. So that's the fraction that she spent on the earrings. And what about the second part? The second part is what we can tell from this. Since we know that Wendy spent 2/3 of the remaining money on the earrings, she's going to have some money left after that. Agree? But what fraction of the remaining money was Wendy left with? Let's work that out by subtracting 2/3 from one whole. 1 minus 2/3 equals to 1/3. Do you get that? Now looking at our neat little diagram that we have drawn, are you starting to see why this method is called the branching method now? As we write the fractions that we have, these branches help us connect each fraction to the correct set. Do you see that? These fractions over here refer to a fraction of Wendy's money, and these fractions over here refers to a fraction of Wendy's remaining money after she spent on the shoes. And this helps to keep all our information super organized. Can we make things even better? Yes, we can. Let's write all these fractions so that every fraction refers to the same set. We already know that Wendy spent 4/7 of her money on a pair of shoes. But what fraction of her money did she spend on the earrings? Since we know that Wendy spent 2/3 of her remaining money on the earrings, and that remaining money is 3/7 of her original amount of money, we are going to multiply 2/3 by 3/7, alright? And 2/3 times 3/7 equals to 2/7. And now we know that Wendy spent 2/7 of her money on the earrings. Then let's think about how to find the fraction of money she was left with in the end. Since she was left with 1/3 of the remainder, we are going to multiply 1/3 by the remainder of 3/7. And this gives us 1/7. And what this means is that Wendy was left with 1/7 of her money in the end. Next, we are going to read on and see whether we can link any information to what we have. Alright? Given that she had $10 left, how much did Wendy have at first? Do you know what fraction of Wendy's money is this $10? We have found that Wendy was left with 1/7 of her money earlier on. Remember? And this means that 1/7 of Wendy's money is $10. Now to find the amount of money that Wendy had at first, all we need to do is to find out how much 7 out of 7 of her money is. And this is going to be pretty simple. Since 1/7 of her money is $10, we are going to multiply $10 by 7 to find out how much money Wendy had in the beginning. What do we get when we multiply 10 by 7? Do you get 70? If you did, great job. And we have found our answer. Wendy had $70 at first. Great job, everyone. Alright, now that you have learned how to solve a remainder concept problem sum with the branching method, I'm curious to know what you think about this. So let me know what you think in the comments below, okay? Do you find the branching method harder than the model method? Or do you actually like this method more? As always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you around.